This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. And hey, if you're looking for a lot of space on your next Walt Disney World vacation and you want to have a lot of great amenities too, but you don't want to pay a whole lot for it, look no further than All-Star Vacation Homes. They've got great amenities such as full-size kitchen, movie room, game room, themed rooms for the kids, your own private pool, lots more. Just go to their website at allstarvacationhomes.com and check out all the options there. Do some photo browsing, click around, see what you can find. You're going to be pretty impressed, I bet, from what you see. Again, allstarvacationhomes.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Friday, February 18th, 2011, and this is episode 840 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudiosCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Yes, Matt, and I am back. So let's get the real sounding shows going again. I've been getting more complaints this week, and I'm not even there about stuff that
really?
You do.
I didn't get it. No, I guess no one bothered. They already know that I stink at editing, so they were like, let me just go complain to Newell. Usually some people send it to me, but
and it's the funniest thing. I get an email. Whatever happened to Judy? Is she no longer?
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing it.
That's exactly what I replied. Matt is just lazy.
I can make an excuse, but honestly, I'm just lazy, folks. Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
In honor of Mike Newell's return, the following podcast opening is given for your, I don't know,
listening and enjoying it.
He's trying to drown us. What kind of an act is that?
It's an act of mercy.
An act of mercy. Good old Muppet Vision. And also joining us on today's show is our very good friend of the show, AJ from the Disney Food Blog, which of course is at DisneyFoodBlog.com. Welcome back to the show, AJ.
Thank you.
Woo! And on today's show, we're going to talk about the some of the changes that Disney's rolled out for the 2011 Disney Dining Plan. And there's quite a number of changes. We want to hit upon the biggies that are changing this year because I know a lot of our listeners will have to take advantage of the dining plan, both in the regular form and as well as the free dining if that resurfaces this year. So, AJ, where would you like to start with the changes that are happening to the dining plan this year?
Well, let's start with the important part and go with price because it's going up again, which it wouldn't be a new year with Disney if the prices didn't go up. So, it's pretty much across the board. They're all going up a little bit.
So what's for the standard dining plan, what are we looking at? What was it? What's it going to?
Okay, standard dining plan was at $41.99 per adult per night, and it's going up to $45. Now, amazingly, it looks like the kids' price is going to be the same at $11.99. So, and that's for the value and regular seasons. We go when we go over to peak season, we're at $47.99 now for the adults and $12.99 per kid. So that you're up probably about $4.
Yeah, this was kind of surprising. I did my research before the show, AJ, and I said, hey. I wonder how the prices have been, the past couple of years. I haven't really paid that much attention to what the price of the dining plan has been for the standard dining plan.
Right.
Now, in 2009 to 2009, the dining plan cost $39.99 for an adult, and 2010 it went up to $41.99, so a $2 difference. Mm-hmm. And when it started out, I believe it was $37.99 back when this is like 2005 or 6 or so.
It was very low, yeah.
Yeah. And now it went up $4, just about 10%, which is odd because, like I said, the other change last year was only $2, and now this is a $4 increase to $45.99. So, Mike Scopa, when you hear this, tell me what's your gut reaction when you hear about this?
Well, my gut reaction is number one, oi. Number two, it makes me. I'll tell you, it makes me think, how could I use the standard Disney dining plan to my advantage? It would make me do a lot of research and a lot of thinking regarding where I would eat to make use of this. I mean, it would also make me pause a lot longer before I would take that leap and say, yeah, I think I'll go for it. But looking at the price, I would look again at which restaurants are on it, and not only that. But, here's something that I hope we get into. Within each restaurant's menu, which items are on the plan and which ones are not. I think that's a key factor in deciding, in one of the factors, I should say, in deciding whether or not to go with a dining plan.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I have not. It's well established that I don't think any of us have been. Not AJ. I mean, the four of us have not been huge fans of the dining plan. Keep in mind that not only has the price been going up every year since it came up, and now it's started out around 30, mid 30s, and now it's up to 40. So basically gone up about $10 since it started. Never mind that they've taken away the appetizer and gratuity. So now all you get is dessert and an entree. But the price keeps going up and up and up. And I know some of our listeners love the dining plan, and we get emails definitely all the time saying, you guys are too hard on the dining plan. We get, we love it. We love to use it. It gets us lots of food. We get to try different restaurants. But I mean, how much is enough? To me, this seems like, it just seems like, again, frankly, I was kind of angry when I read about this. It's like, the price just keeps going up and up and up. And it's like, why? Nothing's improved. They're not giving you back the appetizer. They're not, the amount you've gotten has gone down over the years and the price has gone up. And, bad economy still. I don't think anyone thinks that things are any better this year, substantially better this year than they were last year. I just don't get it. I mean, AJ, what's your take on the price?
Now, can you put a price on having everything set for you at the beginning? You don't have to worry about it. You just go in, you eat, you don't worry about costs. I mean, there is something to be said for that, and for me, if I do recommend the dining plan, it is because it's something that you can't really put a price on, that you're walking into your Disney vacation and you don't have to worry about any money coming out of your pocket. It's all taken care of. That's, that there is something to be said for that.
But
there is an asterisk next to that.
But I mean, I would agree with you, AJ, if that included appetizer, if that included, drink, beverage, with the exception of alcoholic beverage, of course, on all entrees, and one appetizer, one drink, I should say one beverage, one entree, and one dessert, and everything on the menu is open season on everything on the menu on every restaurant that is included in the dining plan. If that was the case, I'm with you 100%. So here's my question:
and
is that the case?
If there's a dining plan with alcoholic beverages only, I'll take that.
No, but I understand the alcoholic beverage. That's fine. But all I want is I want to be able to order my appetizer, my entree, my iced tea, and my dessert, and I don't have to worry about anything. But I can't do that. And starting in March, well, we can get to what happens on March 1st. But it's just there's a lot of little things with asterisks, like you said.
I was going to say, here's the thing. I understand the convenient factor, and you're right. There is something to be said for that. And my advice is, even when you are doing the dining plan, the thing we always say is you have to do your research. You have to make your ADRs and kind of look at menus and figure out, what you'd be interested in to make sure the dining plan is a good value. And my answer to this, especially now with these price increases, is make the ADRs, do your research, get a ballpark figure of what you probably think it's going to cost you, and put that money on a gift card.
Right.
And then use that. And you know what? You have far more flexibility. What happens if one night you don't want to eat at a sit down? You're too busy. You're having a great time riding rides. Maybe you just want to grab something at a counter service restaurant and call it even. Fine. Maybe you're not every single meal you want dessert. Great. Then you'll save yourself some money there. And at the end of the day, you're probably going to walk away with more money saved than on the dining plan. To me, the convenience factor isn't worth it, especially given that the price keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah, the price really does. And there are several restaurants out there. We've covered on the blog which restaurants are you getting the biggest bang for your buck out of the dining plan, because there are some restaurants that are just priced out of the park that don't need to be, and you're gonna get a lot more food for a lot lower costs, by using the dining plan there. But there is definitely something to be said for putting it on a gift card and still having the same sort of, now you can't use your little key to the world. You got to carry around a second card. Depends on how big your pockets are, but
right. The convenience. I understand the convenience factor. That's definitely a pro for it. Totally get that. But to me, in my mind, I'm doing like pros and cons, and the cons are way overwhelming the pros. I guess the only good thing about this, if you want to say that, is the value of free dining has gone up since the price, even though there's
true.
The price of, nothing's really changed. The value is still there. It's kind of like if I created Matt dollars And I said last year Matt dollars are worth $1 and this year I said Matt dollars are worth $2. But the fact of the matter is it's arbitrary. It means nothing. You know what I mean? So technically the value of free dining has gone up, assuming they do bring it back this year.
And interestingly, you had to book in order to get free dining in 2011. You had to book that before the end of December 2010 this year. So you really didn't necessarily know what the prices were going to be.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, there are more changes.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm sure they're price decreases and extra value, right?
Well, the extra value comes in. There's more restaurants on the plan this year, so you can definitely go to the new Hacienda de San Angel. You can go to Via Napoli. Those are added. There's a few pool bars that have been added to the mix this year. There are a few pool bars that have been taken off, but we won't go into that. But I think probably one of the biggest issues right now is that people are having a hard time with is the Le Cellier dinner starting on March 1st is going to 2 credits. And so you still get lunch for 1 table service credit, but dinner is going to be 2 table service credits. And interestingly, I did some research to see if I could get some March dining at Le Cellier, which is next month. And every night that I looked, there was availability. So
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. So what are your Newell, what's your take on, you've been kind of quiet here, what's your take on the Le Cellier going up to 2 table service credits for dinner?
Well, I'm glad I wasn't stood up in March because I would have been 4 credits. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, some WDW Today dirt being brought out.
But but as a cash paying customer, I welcome that because, like AJ says, there's going to be more availability for those hard to get restaurants.
Yeah, this is another example to me of the Matt dollar scenario.
Yeah.
They just said, oh, you know what? This place, it's worth 3 Matt dollars now instead of 2. And it's, I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's supply and demand here. There's been huge demand here for, I don't know, since the beginning of this podcast, certainly, and even before that. Le Cellier has been a wildly popular restaurant. But, whereas like at, Yachtsman Steakhouse or the Hollywood Brown Derby, where, the prices were already high to begin with, and it kind of made, I don't think it ever makes sense, but it's kind of understandable why they were 2 table service credits to start out with. Here at Le Cellier, it's less obvious because I don't think the prices aren't on the same level as those restaurants, I guess.
Right, and the menu will change. The prices will go up. Surprise for the dinner there, but of course we don't know yet quite what that's going to look like. I know, right? Shocker. But yeah, it will.
What's your take on it, AJ? On the change on the dining credits?
Well, I'm with you guys on. I like the fact that there's going to be more availability. I really do like that restaurant, and although I think it took a downturn in the past 3 years, it's come up significantly in the past year, I think. So I really like it. I want to eat there more often, and this will give me the chance to do so. But we'll see. We'll see if they can pull themselves up to that signature dining level. I don't, like I said, I don't know what the menu's going to look like yet.
Let me ask you this question. It's out of the scope of what we were talking about, but on the same topic. A lot of people have said that the dining plan has been one big negative thing since the dining plan was rolled out, and I think 2005, was that it's been harder than ever to get a reservation around Walt Disney World, and that's because of the dining plan. What's your take on that, AJ?
I don't really know. As far as I can tell, when I try to book restaurants, they're full. Mm-hmm. But when I actually go to the restaurants, they're empty. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean that I just happen to be going at times that people tend to bail out on their reservation? I don't know. I'm thinking that's a little strange, though, that you can't get a reservation at a lot of these restaurants, but because you're booking 6 months in advance, a lot of people are bailing on their reservation because they don't really want to go. So there's so many little issues that could be part of this. So I don't want to say, yes, it's the dining plan. No, it's not the dining plan. But,
right.
There are definitely, that's my observation. That's what I've seen happening.
Okay. What are some other changes that have been going on for 2011?
Well, there's one more change, which I call the weird change of the year. And for some reason, it's really resonating with people. I'm getting a lot of comments about it, a lot of people talking about it, that the option to order juice at breakfast in addition to coffee is now gone. You cannot get juice and coffee at the same time at breakfast.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's it. That's it. That's it. Quick service, table service, and private in-room meals. So yeah. I don't know why, but it's causing an uproar.
AJ, can you share your insight that you posted on the blog? I liked your explanation. It's obviously a joke, but I think it's worth repeating.
That it's a problem with Florida's oranges.
She writes, perhaps guests were enjoying coffee and juice at the same meal, thus depleting Florida's oranges.
I have to credit a friend of mine for that joke. That's not mine. But I thought it was pretty funny anyway. But yeah, I think that's weird change of the year is that this has to happen. Like you kind of want to look at folks and go, really? Like this needed to happen to the dining plan this year? Okay, so apparently there's money being spent that doesn't need to be spent somewhere. So there you go. Those are kind of the big changes I think that have happened.
Yeah, that one's really weird. I mean, I don't think if we all put money down on what we thought would change, no one would have put money down on that square.
Yeah, I know. I know. At this point, you need to go to like Tusker House where you get the free juice or some sort of they bring you juice, right? I haven't been there in a couple of years.
Right.
They bring you the jungle juice.
The quick service dining plan went up to $34.99. That was at $31.99 last year, up from 2009, which was $29.99.
Yep. Deluxe dining plan went up.
Oh yeah, what's the deluxe at now?
Deluxe is now $78.99 for adults.
Wow, that was $71.99 last year.
Yeah. And premium is up $5 to $169. Kids are up $5 as well to $119 on that one. So everything went up by at least $1 except a couple of the kids plans. So it's just really, I mean, you're paying more. You're getting the same or less.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh, what's your take on this, Scope? Everything we just talked about.
When I see the dining plan for kids, I'd like to turn back the clock and rent the kid that plays the kid on 2.5 Men. The kid that had Bottomless Pit, and take him and just watch him go at it. First, let's talk about Le Cellier. I agree with Mike. I think this is going to be good for the cash carrying customer because I think availability is going to be much better than it has been. And I have to echo what AJ said. Over the last 2, maybe 3 years, I'd say at least 75% of the time, I've been able to do a walk up and get a table in any restaurant. And that would be within an hour after I've called and said, hey, I'd like to, see if I can get a ADR at blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, no, we're full. And then in half an hour later, I walk up to the restaurant and bang, I can get in there. So yeah. I think that is a commentary on what's been going on. I think that a lot of people are saying, maybe it's not that great of a deal to eat in one of the Walt Disney World restaurants. So maybe I'll go to the quick service restaurant. So I think that's happening. As far as Le Cellier goes, I'm waiting to see what their prices are going to be. I mean, right now, the Scopa special probably runs you about $50 now. So it's been a while since I've had one of those. So I think that's kind of interesting. When I look at the others, I'm not that familiar with the deluxe dining plan, but when you look at $78.99, that's just amazing. And when you go back, one thing we haven't mentioned, when you go back to the to just the standard one.
Yeah.
When you're talking let's see, well, like right now, I guess, we're almost in peak.
Yeah.
That's going to go to almost $48 per adult.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing. And it just makes you really think about how you're going to do things. I'm curious regarding the Via Napoli prices, if they're going to change. I mean, I know they went up a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see once we get into 2011, we get past March, if there are going to be changes made. It's just amazing. I really would love to see the numbers over the last 3 years to see how many guests have actually opted for the dining plans and if they've gone down. My thought is that the number of guests who have taken it, if you want to call it taking advantage of the dining plan. It must have been going up. Why else would you raise your prices?
Right.
If you know something is working, heck, you're going to say, hey, this is something that my market, that my customers want. So I'm going to raise prices, and they're not going to budge. But if it was the other way around, they would either hold the prices, they would give you more for your dollar, or they would lower the prices. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said for marketing that makes things feel easy. So, if you can package everything together and not ever have to worry about it again, people will pay a premium for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just really goes toward, again, all these changes, they always have, the vast majority that go to Walt Disney World, which are the people that don't listen to this show or any shows or visit any websites, the ones that call 407 WD-Disney, I want to go to Walt Disney World. Okay, and they say, I want to go to these dates, and I want to say, they probably get, whatever hotel. They say, oh, we have this thing called the dining plan. You could just, eat whatever you want and, per day. And, okay.
Yeah.
They don't go, wait a minute, that went up 10% from last year? No, they don't know. That's the price. It's like going to the car dealership and it's like, this is the price for a Ford Focus. That's what it is,
Yeah. Yep.
It's just, I mean, I guess the thing is, since we can't really talk to them, but at least to our listeners, and a lot of listeners we do get a lot of comments about the dining plan. And I guess if you're hearing all this and say, whoa, guys, all right, I get it. Dining plan, not a great value. What would be your recommendation, AJ, to people who say, how can I get around the dining plan, but still be able to, not feel like I'm, be able to enjoy myself, I guess is what I would say. What would be your recommendations for people who want to avoid the dining plan?
Who want to avoid the dining plan? Well, basically, I think where you can save your dollars is on hotel discounts and, other discounts therein. That's where I save my money, honestly, is on hotel discounts and the Tables in Wonderland card. If you are an annual pass holder, or if you are a local resident in Florida, you can have this great card, which gets you 20% off of all your food and alcoholic beverages at most dining locations in Disney World. Those are the ways I get around the cost. But basically, you can just do your homework, find out which places are going to have the lower costs with the better food. It's all out there. It's all been written about. So those are two ways that you can really start to think about. Because I guarantee you, there are hotel discounts all the time, and it just takes a little bit of digging to find them.
Yeah. Of course, one thing, even if you are considering the dining plan, always do your homework. Figure out what restaurants you want to eat at, because if you're looking at your restaurants, you start doing the math in terms of what the prices probably are going to run you there. If you look at menus, I mean, there's menus everywhere on the internet. Olliers certainly has a lot of menus there, and you can kind of you can get a ballpark figure. You don't have to do an Excel spreadsheet that has every single thing. So that'd be nice, but you don't have to go that far. And you can kind of start to figure out where the cost really is. And don't forget, you're going to be forced to get dessert every day, and if that matters to you, if that's something you want to have. I mean, you might be saying to yourself, it's coming close, but if I paid cash and didn't get dessert because I don't usually eat dessert, or if I skipped a day here or a day there, maybe you're coming out ahead by just paying cash in your own end. And like I said, go for the gift card idea. Bring cash. They still take cash at Walt Disney World. You can have a lot of cash that you just use. This is my food money, and when it runs out, then we're eating at Wendy's for the rest of the trip,
Break out the spreadsheet. That's right. Break out the spreadsheet. Do a little homework. You're going to save a lot of money. I mean, that's the bottom line for a Disney trip. There's a lot of information to figure out, but there are ways around the really high costs.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to read about all these changes that happen, there's also some other changes that have happened, minute changes like pool bars being added or taken away. But if you want to go over any of this information, we'll have a link at WDWtoday.com to, of course, AJ's site, the DisneyFoodBlog.com, which will have all the information for you to look over. And you can also share your comments over there and see my angry comments and AJ's very gracious response, like, oh, Matt. And by the way, if you want Matt dollars, they are available. Just saying.
Ooh, Matt dollar.
Get them before they go up to 3 for $1.
No thanks.
And
Pass.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. I want to remind all of our listeners that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by All Star Vacation Homes. And hey, you know what? All Star Vacation Homes is still a great value for you. They've got lots of great homes for you to stay at. Lots of different categories, different sizes, different amenities. It doesn't matter what you want. Maybe you're saying to yourself, what? I hear all about the game room. I don't really care, Matt, about a game room. I'm more interested in that private pool and maybe theme room for the kids. you can find that house that's perfect for your family to stay in. And again, all the houses very close to Walt Disney World. You're never going to be that far away, just a few minute drive. Check them out online at www.allstarvacationhomes.com. Want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and AJ, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
In Matt, we trust.
I like that.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.